This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so hi everyone. Welcome to SAP S4 HANA ASD training. Okay, so in the course S4 600, the certification course S4 600, business processes in SAP S4 HANA sales. In this course, in the overview of sales processes unit, okay, today we are covering this topic: processing sales documents. Okay, basically we will cover sales order here. Sales order. Okay, this topic we are covering. Okay, so in the sales order topic, sales order processing topic, the topics we are going to cover there, we will see introduction to sales order. We will understand what is exactly the sales order, creation of sales order. Okay, at what point of time the sales order is created, methods of creation of sales order, different methods of creating the sales order. We will see information in the sales order, what information is available in the sales order. Okay, then structure of the sales document, how the structure of the sales document looks like. We will see how to locate the information stored in the sales document, how to see the information in the sales order, how to see that we will see. Then document flow, okay, and then sales order sourcing. Okay, once the sales order is created, how the sourcing happens, we will see. So these are the topics we will be covering in the uh, sales order topic, sales order processing. Okay, so first we will start with sales order overview. Okay, so in the earlier sessions, we have covered the end-to-end sales process. So in the end-to-end sales process, first pre-sales will happen. So in the pre-sales, customer will approach you, a customer will approach you and ask for a product. Okay, then you create an inquiry, and customer asks for the quotation, so you provide a quotation to the customer. Once the customer has been provided with the quotation, if he is okay with the quotation, then he says he is okay with the product, and let's go ahead with the process. So he wants to purchase the product, so that time we will be creating the sales order. So in the sales, the first beginning step is creation of sales order. Using the sales order, you are further shipping, and from shipping the billing happens, and finally you receive the payment from the customer. So today we are covering in the sales process, we are covering the sales order creation. Okay, so this is what we discussed in the earlier session. So in the pre-sales phase, you have an inquiry. From the inquiry, we will be creating the quotation. Okay, we give this quotation to the customer, and customer, once he is okay with the quotation, then to start the sales process, we will be creating the sales order. Okay, in the sales phase, first step is creation of sales order. Okay, so basically the sales order, it documents the contractual agreement. So we are coming up with a one kind of agreement with the customer. Okay, and it supports the whole sales process. Okay, the sales orders normally contain customer and product information. I'll show you this in the system. Pricing information. Okay, and it contains information about delivery dates and delivery quantities. Okay, and it contains information about shipping, all the shipping details, and also it contains information about billing. Okay, so the sales order will contain all this information, basically all this information. Okay, if the pre-sales activities have been successful, the customer will order corresponding goods or services. So once the customer is okay with the quotation, he will ask for the goods, basically. A sales order is then created to represent this process step. So first step is like a sales order creation. The inquiry and quotation are optional, those are not mandatory. Okay, the sales order is a contractual agreement between a sales organization and a customer, sold to party, about delivering the products or providing service for a defined prices, quantities and times. So basically sales order will contain all this information. What is a sales organization, who is a customer, to which sold to party we are selling the product, and then what product we are selling, and what is the price we have agreed upon, and what are the quantities, and also times. Okay, the sales order contains all the relevant information to process the customer request throughout the whole process cycle. So what I will do, I'll just show you the one sales order first. So let me go to the system. I'll take the sales order which is already created. Okay, so let me go to VA05 transaction. Okay, I'll search all the sales orders created from my ID. Okay, let me just execute. Okay, so if I go to one sales order, if I go to this sales order 5756, I'll just double click on it. Okay, so basically the sales order, it will contain a sold to party. So to this customer we are selling the product, and this is the product we are selling, and this is the quantity. Okay, and the sales area, to see the sales area, here you see there is a button, display header details. If you click on that button, you can see here, this is the sales area, sales organization, distribution channel, and division. Here you can see. Okay, so it will contain all that information. Basically this is a order number, sales order number, and he is a sold to party, and other relevant information. We will come to that. And when we are going to deliver it, suppose if I double click on this material, if you go to schedule lines, you see we are going to deliver on 2nd of September, and this much quantity, 10 pieces. So this is the delivery date, and this is the confirmed quantity. Okay, so all that information you will have it in the sales order. Okay, and sales order is always created for a sales area. So whenever you are creating a sales order, you should create it for a sales area. So what is a sales area? We already discussed. The sales area is nothing but a combination of sales organization, distribution channel, and your division. It is a combination of these things. So where to see this in a already created sales order? Where to see this information? The one which I just showed you. In the sales order, you just click on this button, display header details. If you go to this, you can see here sales area information. This is a sales order, this is a distribution channel, this is a division. That means this sales order is created for this sales area basically. Okay, this is the place where you can see. So let's continue. Furthermore furthermore most sales document have to contain a customer number and at least one item with a material number. So normally it will contain sold to party, customer, and at least one item with a material number normally. Okay, so this is the one. If you see here, this is the sold to party, nothing but customer, and here you have only one item. This is the product material, and this is the quantity. It should have at least one item. Okay, so that is the sales order basically. Okay, now we will see how to create the sales orders. What are the different methods? Okay, so to create sales order there are two methods. One is with a reference document, with a reference document. Okay, like quotation, like quotation, from quotation. Okay, another method is direct creation. I'll show you both. Direct creation, direct creation. So direct creation, that is okay. Now the T codes are, for creation, the T code is VA01. Okay, change it is VA02, and for display it is VA03. These are the T codes normally. VA03. Okay, so first we'll start with the creation of sales order with a reference document, like from quotation. Okay, so uh, if a relevant if a relevant preceding document exists, data can be copied from it when a sales document is created. So you have a quotation, from quotation you create your sales order. You create your sales order. So all the data from the quotation will get copied to the sales order. Okay. So for example, one or more quotations can serve as reference documents for a sales order. Okay. If you see here, let's say I have a customer number is 1. I have two quotations from this for the customer. For the same customer I have two quotations. Okay, so what we can do is we can club these two quotations into one single order, one single sales order. That is also possible. Okay, so this we will see how to do that in the system. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just first I'll take the materials which we created earlier. Okay, let's say I have these two products, Pepsi bottle 1.5 liter and Pepsi bottle 2 liter, 2304235. I'll create two quotations first. Okay, just to show you how the sales order is created from a reference document. So quotation is VA21. Okay, quotation type QT sales org. Okay, enter. Okay, I'll give the sold to party. This is the sold to party. Okay, and then the material. What is the material? First material 2304 I will take 2304, and the quantity is, let's say, 100. Okay, this is the quotation, and my quotation is valid for one month. Okay, enter. Okay, done, created, and I will save this quotation. Okay, so quotation is created, first quotation. Go to display. Okay, so this is the quotation number, first quotation. Okay, I'll put it over here, quotation. Okay, now again I will create one more quotation for the same customer with a different product. Okay, so let me go and create again. Okay, enter, same